Adolescence. An age of confusion, development, and pure unadulterated cringe.
I'm over here stroking my dick, I got lotion on my dick.
A time some of us may look back on with fond memories, while others, like myself, most likely recall that time of our life with as much fondness as one can hold for the steaming pile of dog shit.
Oh my god! My house is full of shit! He shit everywhere! Look what he did! He shit all over the wall!
During this stage, many will likely fall in love for the first time, have their hearts broken for the first time, touch their pee-pee for the first time, smoke crack for the first time, put their penis in a peanut butter sandwich for the first time, maybe even hump a pillow for the first time. I can already feel some of our faces crunching up in pain at the thought of some of the embarrassing things that we did back then. But I hope for all your sakes that none of your adolescent lives were like the adolescence shown in Scum's Wish. Scum's Wish is the story of really horrible people doing horrible things to other horrible people. Things that quite often turn them into even more horrible people. The story centers on two characters named Hanabi and Miyuki and their adolescent life. It's quite a mature story, and if you're looking for something interesting to watch, I can tell you at this point of the video already that it's pretty decent, and you should check it out if what you've seen so far looks even mildly attractive. Now for those of you who want to know what's interesting, and don't mind a spoiler or two, follow along now. It's not at all complicated, very easy to understand. Our protagonist is Hanabi. Hanabi is a penis. She has longing feelings for her lifelong crush, who is also now her teacher, Narumi Kanai. Narumi is a weird one, but more on that later. I think it's pretty obvious that this love is complicated, and of course, for those of you who need clarification, illegal. At the same time, we also focus on Miyuki. Miyuki is a penis. He's in love with his former music teacher, Akane Minagawa. Akane Minagawa is a massive penis. I will have much to say of this woman, so I will just save what I think of her for later. She is now also the music teacher of the school Hanabi and Miyuki go to, so his love for her is also pretty complicated. And illegal, of course. At the same time, Kanai is in love with Akane, and this love is neither complicated nor illegal, unless you count Kanai's severe mommy issues, in which case he is a child, and then we go back to all this being illegal. At the same time, we have Dekomori. Age that went up a little bit? Right. We have definitely not adult Dekomori, who's in love with her childhood friend Mugi. Also, I just want to add, Mugi? Really a dumb name. At the same time, we have this pushy bitch who comes in and is also in love with Hanabi, but who is ignoring this guy, who's her cousin by the way, who's also in love with her. So now she doesn't want to be with him and Hanabi doesn't know what she wants, so like I said, it's not complicated. Before devolving into pure drama, our plot is set in motion by Miyuki and Hanabi, who thanks to their shared longing for people they can't be with, begin a relationship with each other where they use each other as proxies for the people that they want to be with. If you have a sane mind, you'll realize that this anime is clearly a trashy dumpster fire that ought to be thrown into the same bin in which everyone had already dumped domestic girlfriend.
What the hell is even that?
But if you're someone with an actual brain, you'll recognize that this anime has the potential to be exactly the kind of dumpster fire that'll keep your degenerate desire for drama warm. Also, have I mentioned that there is a notable amount of sex going on in this anime? Now that I'm sure I've got your attention, I should say that Scum's Wish has always been an interesting anime to me. I remember we at the UPD wanted to talk about it a long time ago, ever since our first video where we discussed the cultural phenomenon that is school days, which I believe all of you should be watching right now. Right now, go watch that. Stop watching this video, go watch School Days. Recently I've been catching up with anime that makes my brain go numb, since I can't afford the amount of alcohol it would take to make me proper brainless throughout the day or to help keep me entertaining for any of my Twitch streams.
Julian!
So while I was scrolling through totally legal and definitely not illegal sites where I watch my anime, I saw Scum's Wish and I decided to revisit some traumatic memories. Obviously I've already watched the show before, and in my memories it was quite a horrible mess of bullshit characters doing bullshit things driven by rather cynical storytelling with an ending that if I could, I would throw at a fucking wall. However, on rewatching the show a few years later, I think I've gained some perspective, and I think that there exists a rather interesting exploration on the discovery of sexuality, attraction, and the general emotions that come with owning any kind of genitals.
And my penis was missing again. This happens all the time. It's detachable.
Scum's Wish is the story of characters that have rather unique experiences and perspectives that actively affect the way they connect and interact with others. Things often don't go in the direction that you want, and in the beginning, the story does a good job of showing why these characters make the choices that they make. These choices often affect other characters in a rather visceral way, and this starts to unravel into a story mostly comprised of really terrible people who are trying to do things that make themselves happy, but which often ends up completely having the opposite effect. This is because a core component of each character's scummy nature is this need to look out for themselves and satisfy their own desires, and this results in each character either hurting themselves or the person that they care about most. This helps you get a better notion of who these characters are and what they mean to each other, and this is what makes some parts of the story really painful to watch. At the end of the day, most of these characters are isolated young students, and their human nature never seems to not make sense. Given this, the first few episodes of the show are a rather interesting watch until, and I'll try not to spoil it, the twist on one particular character starts to derail the complete shit out of the story. The twist involves our music teacher, who absolutely does not have any of this humanness apply to her, unless you consider extreme and mostly unjustified character traits to be the most human of all. Oh Moby, you don't get it. She's human, bro. She got titties, dude. She can do no wrong. To me, this really fucking dumb twist is what pushes many of the characters to start doing things that to some extent make no sense at all. Unfortunately, the source of this particular twist in Akane is not explored very well, and for this reason, it seems to be a thing that the writer just added to provide the story with some momentum that really cemented the scumminess of every character in the story. Soon, not only do the characters begin to develop some, or rather more, unhealthy behavior, but we start to see that the roots of some people's connections to others are somewhat problematic as well, at least according to me. This is particularly prevalent in Kanai, whose infatuation with Akane stems from a strange connection he has to his deceased mother, a sort of Oedipal connection that is explored but also at the end really seems to be unhealthy in the long run. In other words, Akane looks like his mommy, and that seems to stir up his desire to fiddle her fiddle. The Akane twist is definitely the show's weakest point, and its reveal is what pushes the story into nonsense zone. While it does set some really important plot points in motion, which leads to important character development, it also makes Akane one of the worst characters in the story, not just because of who she is, but also what she represents as a really boring, surface level fuck up that takes away from what was a rather grounded story. Every single time this bitch is on screen, I just find her so fucking boring, and hoping that we'd move on to other characters even if they too start to get boring, because they start to do shit that just starts to piss you off without any good reason. But at the end of the day, I think that's what many of us are here for. That tantalizing drama, which is extra fun in this anime given the heavy focus on sexual relationships and sex itself. Despite having a arguably generic shoujo protagonist, Scum's Wish feels like a mature foray into the romantic drama genre, and this is what makes it so interesting to watch. Apart from the story and characters, the music is pretty nice and melancholic, which I appreciate, and the voice acting is pretty good. I watched it in English because I wanted something to do while I was doing the dishes, and I honestly think that it helps to watch the show in a language that you speak, because that makes some of the more familiar emotions that much more relatable, while also making the cringy parts of adolescence that much more cringy. As I was watching this anime, I realized that Netflix is out there trying to fuck up every anime under the sun, when they actually should be focusing on making a live action version of this show. While there is a live action adaptation of the show already, and I believe that's probably a good way to watch the story unfold, I think that Netflix would allow this raunchy drama to live up to all its dumpster fire potential. It's got sex, it's got drama. Put this stuff on a site like Netflix where anything goes, and I mean violence and sex and nudity are all free to be displayed, and you'll practically have people eating out of your fucking hands. It's a cash cow waiting to be picked up. I do have more that I want to say about Netflix and adaptations of anime and manga, but I'm gonna save that for another video. For now, I think I can cautiously recommend Scum's Wish, the anime at least, and if the ending makes you want to throw a brick through the writer's window, just know that there is an after story in the form of a manga that gives us just a little more and might change how you feel about the story and its characters to some degree. So, if you're looking for something unfamiliar that might feed the masochist in you that seeks out the fictional equivalent of a train running through another train, maybe Scum's Wish might be your deal. Hi guys, it's Moby here. I realized I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video. Welcome to the Unpopular department. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Cloud is moved out, so we are probably going to be doing videos like this for a little while. Do come watch me on Twitch though, and we'll go watch him on Twitch. I will leave a link in the description for that. Also, leave a comment saying what you thought about the anime, if you have watched the anime, and let me know if you disagree with any of the points I've made in this video. Maybe you preferred it more than I did. Maybe you thought it was complete shit. Yeah, let me know. Until then, I look forward to the next video and have a very good fuck off.